Hello guys. So we are today going to discuss about the lymphatic system. So nearly 20 liters of the blood plasma are filtered through the capillaries daily to bathe and nourish the body cells. The lymphatic system processes almost 20% of this fluid, which seeps from the capillaries and cells. These tissues traveled primarily through the veins and return to the heart. So the lymphatic system is a complex network of tubes, tissues and the organ that is the part of the circulatory system in the vertebrate body. The lymphatic system removes extra fluid and waste from the tissues and deposits them in the bloodstream to support the body fluid balance. It also provides the body with disease fighting lymphocytes, which helps in the body defense against the infection. The lymphatic system comprises the lymph node, open-ended vessels and organs like tonsils, spleen, and thymus. The lymphatic system causes the lymph to move only in one direction of the heart. So let us understand about the anatomy of the lymphatic system. The extra fluid that leaks from the cell and tissue is gathered together in the lymph, also known as the lymphatic fluid. White blood cells, which are also known as the lymphocytes, that the lymph transport combat infection. The bean-shaped glands called lymph nodes regulate the and cleans the lymph as it filters through them. They remove the cancerous and damaged cell by the filtration. The thymus gland, a lymphatic and the endocrine gland is located behind the sternum. It creates the hormone and is essential for the immunological T cell development, maturation and differentiation. The tonsils generate lymphocytes and the antibodies. They can provide defense against the ingested and inhaled foreign particles. Although it is lymphoid tissue, the spleen is not a component of the connected lymphatic system. It produces white blood cells and filters blood to eliminate pathogens, damage red cells, and platelets. Although bone marrow is not a lymphatic tissue, it is a part of the lymphatic system because this is where the immune system B cell develops. So let us understand about the composition and the function of the lymph in the humans. So what is a lymph? Lymph is the colorless fluid that circulates throughout the lymphatic system. The main role of the lymphatic system is to act as a filter against the microbes, organic waste, toxins, and other debris. It carries lymphocytes throughout the body that fight against the infections. In animals and human beings, extracellular fluid is divided into the interstitial fluid and plasma. It consists of the small water-soluble substances which flow between the tissue cells. Both plasma and interstitial fluid are similar due to the continuous exchange of the small solute, water, and ions across the capillary wall of the tissues. The functions of the interstitial fluid are as follows. It is such as it is used to transport nutrients to the cells. It enables the intracellular communication between the cells. It removes the metabolic waste from the cells. The interstitial fluid is collected by the lymphatic system and the rest is drained out. The drained fluid moves back to the blood vessels and remaining fluid is collected through the lymph capillaries, which also known as the lymphatic capillaries. Let us have an overview of the composition and the function of the lymph in the humans. So the composition of the lymphatic system comprises the lymph plasma, lymph corpuscles, and lymphoid organs. The composition of the lymph is described as the first one is lymph plasma. So lymph is the interstitial fluid. It has the similar mineral content as the plasma. It consists of the cell less calcium, few blood proteins, less phosphorus, and high glucose concentration. Globulin proteins, which are actual antibodies, are found in the lymph plasma. Other substances include organic and inorganic substances. The exchange of the nutrients and gases between the blood and the cells of the tissue occur through the lymph. The lymph corpuscles. This comprises of the leukocytes and the embryoid cells. It contains the specialized lymphocytes that are involved in the eliciting immune the responses in the human body. And the lymphoid organs. The lymphatic system consists of the numerous lymphoid nodes deep inside the body. These lymphoid nodes are connected to the lymphatic vessels, which circulates the lymph throughout the body. The lymph gets filtered out at the lymph node. The spleen, tonsils, adenoid, and thymus all forms a part of the lymphatic system. The spleen is considered the largest lymphatic organ in the system, which is located under the rib cage, above the stomach and exactly in the left upper quadrant of the abdomen. Other parts of the lymphatic system, such as tonsils, adenoids, and thymus, are located on the either sides of the throat and neck. Some other components of the lymph in the humans are carbohydrates, lymphocytes, creatinine, water, which is about 94%, urea, chlorides, enzymes, proteins, which contain the albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen, and non-protein nitrogenous substances. So the formation of the lymph is because of the lymph capillaries, which are permeable. Lymph is formed from the interstitial fluid when the blood flows through the blood capillaries in the tissue. 9 out of the 10th of the fluid flows into the venous end of the capillaries from the arterial end. The remaining 1/10 of the fluid then enters lymph capillaries, which are more permeable than the blood capillaries. As a result, when the lymph passes through the lymph capillaries, its composition includes the protein content is more or less similar to that of the interstitial fluid. Because of their larger size, protein found in the interstitial fluid cannot enter the blood capillaries, and thus this protein enter the lymph vessels, which are permeable to the large particles. So the functions of the lymph are it keeps the body cell moist, it transports oxygen, hormones, and nutrients to the different parts of the body, and removes metabolic waste from the cells. It transports antibodies and lymphocytes to the blood, maintaining the composition of the tissue fluid and the volume of the blood. It also helps in the absorption of the fat from the small intestine occurs through the lymphatic vessels. It prevents invasion of the microbes and foreign substances inside the lymph nodes. So these were some of the information that we discussed about the lymphatic system and the composition and function of the lymph. Thank you so much.